Hi folks, it's the 18th of February 2023, a Saturday, and it is about 11:30 in the morning. I'm here and just a Kavu day. It was so miserable the last 3 days. The rain was just constant and non-stopping, and the temperatures are unseasonably warm, and they will continue to be. It's going up to 71 degrees next Thursday. That'll be February 23rd. That's insane. But anyway, I'm making this video today with the subject of the inspection and repair on my car. I have a 2005 Toyota Solara, which is the two-door version of the Camry. I absolutely, as far as internal combustion engine cars are concerned, okay, I have internal combustion engine. The acronym for that is ICE, I-C-E, internal combustion engine. So whenever I say an ICE car, I'm talking about a car with an engine that combusts gasoline on the inside. It has a lubrication system, it has a hydraulic system, it has a cooling system, and these are all separate, completely separate systems. A braking system with hydraulic fluids. It's incredibly complex and has an unbelievable number of moving parts. And the subject of my repair for the inspection is an example of technology eliminating this repair, totally eliminating it. And it's on an ICE car. I didn't think there had been any progress made on making ICE cars last longer or have the maintenance costs reduced, but here is one. So, and typically I bring this car in. I bought it 10 years ago. It had 60,000 miles on it. It has 180,000 miles on it now. I had to replace the right rear strut, even though it didn't break. It was rattling, and that took me 3 days and a lot of time on YouTube, and I would never do it again. I've outgrown that, should I say, or actually I've aged to the point where I'm not going to be able to do that kind of work anymore. And I hope I don't have to pay somebody else to do it. But other than that, the car's been incredibly reliable. It has 180,000 miles on it, and the air conditioning blows like it's brand new. Now think about that. I've had General Motors cars where the air conditioning conks out at 60, 70,000 miles, and the repair, oh, you want your air conditioning fixed? $3,000. And oh, by the way, that's only a 90-day warranty. Air conditioning in this car is like a brand new car. It's amazing. However, discovered something that I've never encountered ever before. Imagine that at my age. And oh, it's bright today. Let's see how bright it gets. So I could take it to the dealer. The dealer says, your emergency brake. Now, the emergency brake I'm going to refer to as the e-brake going forward. So ICE is internal combustion engine cars. E-brake is emergency brake. So they say, you got a problem with your e-brake system. It's completely shot back where the wheels are. And I did hear a noise, a grinding noise in the back. And I thought that was just something rubbing against the rotor. Wrong. It was the emergency brake system. So when you pull your emergency brake, here is the handle for the emergency brake, right? Off, on, and that on position has been adjusted. I used to have to pull it up much further to get it to go on, but since the guys repaired the system for me yesterday, it feels really good, and they did a great job. This place called Mr. Tire in Thorndale, Pennsylvania, man, those guys really have done well by me. And even though I dropped a G on them yesterday, actually Thursday, today, so yeah, it was Thursday. They did a good job, man. I'm pleased. And I have, like, my days and years with General Motors, they never did a good job. I'm not going to go into that. It's just unbelievable how awful General Motors was. Anyway, so these guys fix it. And when they told me how much it was going to cost, I'm still a little incredulous, because an emergency brake you only use when your car's not moving. How can it be worn out? How can this braking system that you only use to keep the car stationary. So there's two things of stabilize your car when you stop it. You pull the emergency brake. Well, first you put it in park. Make sure your brakes are applied, your pedal brakes, and then you pull the emergency brake on. So the emergency brake is really what holds it. The park setting is like a backup if the emergency brake fails. So my emergency brake is a cable that goes from this handle on the console back to the rear two wheels. It's a cable that when you pull it, there's a separate set of brake shoes, not pads. If you don't know the difference between brake shoes and brake pads, look it up. But these are brake shoes. On the inside of the rotor, it's like the old style drum brake system, but it's just for the emergency brake, right? The regular brakes on the outside of those rear rotors is just like, a caliper, just, like on your bicycle. When you pull your brakes on your bicycle and it squeezes the tire, it squeezes the rotor. But the emergency brake is on the inside of the rotor. I could try to over-explain that, but that's the bottom line. But the emergency brake, the system inside the rotor, there's like a drum, like the old drum brakes, and the emergency brake pads are these pads that push out against the inside of the rotor, on the inside of the drum. Okay, that whole system has been eliminated. I know Volkswagen eliminated it as far back as 2015, 16, or 14, something like that. So when you park a Volkswagen now, you put it in park, but then you press a button, and the button automatically applies the brakes on all four wheels electronically. You press this button. My son has one, and he was telling me about it. I was like, well, why didn't we do this 20 years ago, and eliminate the whole emergency brake system that I have? So instead of this, I don't know if you can see it, instead of this going down and up, all you do is you push a button on the console, and you can hear the electronically activated brakes on all four wheels lock all four wheels in place. That not only did that eliminate a lot of problems, although this is the first time I've ever encountered an e-brake problem like this. It eliminates the problems, but it also eliminates altogether the overall problem. That's not even a real advancement in technology. This is common sense. They could have done this 40 years ago, but the car companies don't care about the pain, the level of pain the customers and that their customers have in maintaining these crazy complex cars. And now they're realizing year after year, we can get rid of this, we can get rid of that, that can be replaced by a button, that can be replaced by a button. Here's another one. I'll just give you another quick one. You see this thing here? Let's see if I can do this right. Sorry. Where my keys go in? I'm not sure if you can see that. That's where my keys go in. You should be able to see it from right there. All right, see where my keys are hanging down? The keys plug into this barrel, okay? Well, that's a complex physical thing that the key has to fit into exactly with all these teeth and everything else on it. And it has to fit in perfectly in there, and all the things have to fall together, and then you can turn the key and turn on the car. But that's been totally replaced by a transponder. That's complete, and that's a single point of failure. Okay, that thing breaks and you put your key in and it won't turn or something like that. That's a physical thing that after 180,000 miles can go bad. Well, that's been replaced by a transponder. What's a transponder? A transponder is anything that makes a good wireless connection between origin and destination. So I have this transponder on me. When I approach the car knows the transponder, the car opens itself up. You get in the car, and you don't have a key. Instead of a key, putting it into a complex barrel mechanism like that, there's a button. You press the button, the car starts because the transponder activates that button. As long as you have that transponder with you, the car's not going anywhere. But you're also not going to have to deal with a broken key barrel like the one we were just looking at. So there's two innovations. The transponder technology has literally been available for decades and decades. In aviation, the air traffic controller will always tell you, well, squawk, and then he gives you four numbers. Squawk 1, 2, 3, 4. Cessna 090. There's a panel on the aircraft dashboard, and it's got 4 windows on it, and you turn the dial until it says what they said, 1004, whatever the number was that they gave you. That identifies you. That pops up on their screen in the tower, and this can be 30, 40 miles away or more. They see the 1004, they know that's you, and it's moving around. That's been around for decades and decades. And so the car company officials, I guess they got really bored, got tired of playing poker at the board meetings. Maybe they got, tired of paying strippers to come into the board meetings, and they said, well, what can we do for the customer? We haven't done anything for the customer in decades. What can we do? Transponder instead of the key. I'm pretty sure it was the Japanese that came up with that first. American car companies, they just sit on their lazy fat. Like Mary Barris now is making all these stupid claims about General Motors' capability in the electronic vehicle or the electric vehicle segment, and they're not doing shit for electronic vehicles. And that's the answer to a lot of the problems from ICE cars is the electric vehicles. There is no engine. How sweet is that? The emergency brake system is the same. You press a button, all 4 brakes are engaged. Now they still have a manual emergency brake system, pretty sure, but their regular braking system is regenerative for the battery. So when you press down on the brakes in a Tesla, reverse generators slow the car down, and while they're doing that, they charge the batteries. So basically, you will never have to do a brake job in a Tesla. Emergency brake system, pretty sure. I haven't looked into that, but it can't be this old, arm, ratchet arm thing, I mean, how obsolete is that? Technology. And I don't even consider those 2 things technology. I just consider it, somebody finally understood how much pain their customers are going through, paying for all this unnecessary crap. Unnecessary for decades, and they're just getting around to it now. I am biased in this matter, and I've been screwed by General Motors for decades too with their horrible products and their horrible service and horrible. I mean, every encounter I had with them was just, made it a bad day, Anyway, so I love my Toyota, but this thing is obsolete for sure. I don't know what I'm going to be driving in 5 years. Most of the cars will be electric that are on the road. And anyway, I just wanted to relay that to you guys. And I'm going to be on an austerity program for the next 30 days to get through to the next Social Security check. But no debt yet. So knock on wood for that. Peace, y'all.